It's the National Football League on EA Sports, and the wait is over for this rivalry game. It's the New York Giants and the Philadelphia Eagles next on Madden NFL 24.
It's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Today, longtime foes square off in the NFC East as it'll be the New York Giants taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. And the opening kickoff will not be returned as that will be a touchback. First go on offense for the Giants under the guidance of Daniel Jones, the former Duke Blue Devil.
I still remember when he was drafted, there was a little bit of controversy about how high he was selected by the New York Giants. But his talents were revealed. He can make every throw in the book. Surprisingly good athlete. As long as he takes care of the football, doesn't turn it over, he can really make plays.
Cadence, lock in the cadence, lock in the cadence.
They'll start out on the ground at Saquon Barkley. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up third down. An early task, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. Didn't get it by much, but bottom line got the first down. Avoiding that 3 and out, how vital is that on the first drive?
To me, it's like the first round of a boxing match. You know, it may not mean much right then and there, but you'd rather not lose it, right? So you want to go ahead and get it, kind of establish something early, and hope it can carry through.
So the completion results there in 9 yards, and that'll give them a short yardage situation here for second down.
Half jumbo, half jumbo.
Jones with a handoff to Barkley. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. It's a Giant first down on a gain of 16.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley and another 1st and 10 here. Throwing Jones. Being chased out left. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain.
That's the first time he's called his own number, but he's got to be overjoyed with the results. He wasn't just going to settle for a modest gain. To me, he was determined to come through with a big message to a defense that slept on him in the pocket.
Now Jones.
And this one almost intercepted. Had a chance to come down with it in the end zone, but could not hang on.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield in man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
Jones throw complete here to Waller.
9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there, and how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up 1st and goal now. The stop there on 3rd. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on 1st and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there, and I go right at him with another momentum play. I go quickly and attack them because right now they probably have their heads down a little bit since they didn't stop him on 3rd down.
That gets them 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
Here's where we need to see some tenacity from this defense because they've been pushed right down the field on this opening drive. They've got to find some way to push back, and that's a good first step.
And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there, enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
It's pretty early in the game, but they've already tried to establish it not just as a runner, but as a receiver as well. Didn't happen there, but I wouldn't be surprised at all to see them try again shortly.
Gano's kick is good.
So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
Boston Scott on the return from his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Philly's offense getting ready, and Jalen Hurts ready to lead them. The 2nd-round pick who started his career at Alabama, then finished with an electric senior season at Oklahoma.
Tremendous production in college at 2 different universities, and this is a guy who was a finalist for a Heisman Trophy. Still much more of a runner than a thrower, but has plenty of arm and is capable of making the big throws downfield. And don't underestimate his ability to think the game. Remember, he's the son of a coach.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain.
Here comes 3rd and the length of the football. They'll try and run here with Swift. And this is going to be an Eagles 1st down as they'll take this up to the 38-yard line. $3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Now 2nd quarter action from Philadelphia, and it's the Eagles in possession. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38 as they've got it as we resume action. They'll throw on 1st down with Hurts. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that will bring up 2nd down. Now Hurts going to keep it running left. And he probably should have given that one off as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. Hurts. And that is incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away. Olszewski now to return.
8 yards on the return following a punt of 41. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. So the Giants getting the football back here for their 2nd drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Back to throw. Jones. Catch made by Slayton. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be 2nd down.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. Oh, fighting off the defender, and he'll get it down here to the 43. 59 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Here we go.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. Operating from the gun. Jones. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked up by the former Giant, James Bradbury. And the Eagles are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
So back onto the field here come the Eagles for their 2nd drive. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Here's Hurts to throw. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. It looks like they're going to have to give up the football again after this one.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Oh, the return is Olszewski. It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5, and it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Saquon Barkley and the Giants offense set to kick off their next drive. And he's well.
Here we go.
They begin with a run by Barkley. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
2nd quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score.
Here we go.
Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's a 2nd down and 4. Looking to throw. Jones. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
It's Barkley once again bringing in the catch. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
And good yardage there on 1st down because sometimes all you need to do on the screen is get one key block. That might set your man free, and that was pretty good pursuit to the football defensively, or it could have gone for more.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Jones. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play, and that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the 1st. Back to throw again. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. So that's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 11 more on that one and another first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
2nd and 6.
Again, he'll drop to throw.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
They'll look to throw again.
That's complete to Slayton. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. So Jones off, Graham Gano on here for the New York Giants field goal. Gano's kick is good, and they're able to double their lead just before half. It's 6-0. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
Yeah, the Eagles going to get one final possession in this first half.
And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Hurts sets up to throw it. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
Call that a very strong gain of 24. The Eagles will take their third and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward.
Here's Jake Elliott. Career long, by the way, for him, 61 yards.
This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he missed it. It's no good. And the deficit will stay at 2 field goals.
Yeah, 55 yards is anything but a gimme. You've got to really concentrate on your leg swing and proper technique. This time, though, he's unable to convert.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And maybe a chance for a quick completion and then a long field goal try. We'll see.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Good starting field position for the New York Giants here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. Throwing to start the drive. Jones. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Part of what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Jones in trouble here, and down he goes.
So a couple of field goals, that's all we've been able to muster through 2 quarters of play. 6-0 is our count at the break. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everyone, to our brand new studios here in downtown Orlando in the EA Sports Halftime Report. This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, but we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side can play mistake-free football the rest of the way. Both these teams making their final halftime adjustments. We're just about ready to get back to football. So for the call of the second half, we get back up to Philadelphia and Brandon Gott.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone. The Eagles ready to go on offense to begin quarter number 3. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
They'll start by running the option to the right. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. Give him 10 yards on the keeper, and it'll lead to a second down.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 30-yard line.
Throwing is Hurts.
This complete to Jones. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. They'll give him 4 yards there. And now 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
Hey, 73.
Back to throw. That is caught. They'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Just his 2nd catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
That was a pretty good throw on the curl route there. 3rd down, and they pick up a first.
Defense should be aware for that, right?
They should be aware, but it's so hard sometimes.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Because when they sell that route really well, you think they're going upfield, then they curl back, show their numbers to the quarterback, and complete the play.
Open man, that's Devontae Smith.
Even against double coverage, he found enough of an opening for a noticeable gain. 2 guys on him, yet he finds a way to uncover downfield for the completion.
It's 2nd and inches at the 40-yard line.
2nd down, here's Jalen Hurts. They'll try and set up the screen to Swift.
And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line.
6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
Eagles. 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. This is Smith with the ground. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Eagle passing game looking good on this drive. It's a first down. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punt.
And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out.
Illegal touching. Offense.
So that erases a game-tying touchdown.
And wouldn't you hate to be the person that committed the foul on that play? Film is not going to be fun for him, but right now, he's got to regroup and continue to play.
He's got his target. That's complete. And the Eagles are going to be set up with a 1st and goal as they get the conversion there on 3rd and inches.
Gotta say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on third and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
A loss of 2 there. Second down.
Brings up second and goal at the 4-yard line.
Swift going to take this down just short of the goal line. He got 3, but could not get the ball over the chalk. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's third and goal.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Jalen Hurts keeping it himself from a yard out. And the Eagles have even the ball game with a chance to take the lead here in the final minute of this third quarter.
Well, I'd have to say that for him, that was an all-encompassing drive because it was his arm that got his team down to that point, but his legs that finished the deal. Give him credit for making it happen.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott.
The kick is good.
A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And Charles, it feels like we're set up for a good second half here. Came out of the locker room, 1-score game. Now the lead has already changed hands. Well, this offense, they've got an opportunity right now to take that lead right back.
Yeah, and it feels like you're going back and forth almost a little bit like a tennis match, right? And we're just, our heads just keep moving. Which side has it? Which side's going to score? How are they going to go out doing it? A little bit of a challenge for each side trying to match each other.
Second down, here's Barkley again. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. The Giants on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. They'll get this out to Barkley, complete. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down. Here's Jamie Gillendown as he's on a punt for the first time this afternoon. It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return, and it will be Eagles football 1st and 10. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
3rd and 3. Once again, it's Swift. A little juke. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle 1st down.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there on that play. I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Bobby Okereke making that tackle. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down. Off the play fake, here's Hurts. And that's out to the flat for Swift. No gain on the play. And 3rd and 8 now.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes, and they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 27-yard line. Give them 22 there on the 3rd down conversion.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, one-score game. 1st and 10 here. They'll look to throw. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Dexter Lawrence able to bust free and get to the quarterback. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. The pressure really ratcheting up. They get the sack on first down, then a near sack. They got to him there just as it was leaving his hand.
Yeah, they might need to change their pass protection scheme a little bit. Maybe bring another guy into the backfield to help protect the quarterback because that was awfully close.
And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to get the lead up to 4. The kick by Elliott is good. And they bump the lead up to 4 now at 10-6. So he missed his first attempt, remember, but this time he gets back on the bike and knocks it home.
Yeah, and sometimes that first one can really impact you moving forward. It can just stay with you too long and affect everything else you do during the game. In this case, though, able to shake it off. He's riding high again.
And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23. So now Jones and the Giants down 10-6, 2 minutes, 17 seconds to go. They'll have 2 timeouts and, of course, also the 2-minute warning as they go to work on first down. Throwing Jones. The short throw pulled in by Bellinger. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a second down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. Here comes second down at 5. On the draw, this is Barkley. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
Plenty of time and 2 timeouts still at their disposal. 1st and 10 here. Here's Jones. Gets this to Bellinger. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Now Jones. Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. When you talk about making winning plays, that is a winning play at this stage of the game. To come up with that interception, huge.
I like how you identified that because most people think winning plays are the offense trying to get it done. In this case, nursing a lead, they found a way to make a play on that side of the ball and maybe finish things off.
Philadelphia's offense ready to give us another look. And this one now not quite over yet. Still 2 timeouts remaining defensively. And, boy, having that third timeout would have really helped here.
Yeah, another example of why coaches really stress saving your timeouts for when you absolutely have to have them. They go over this all the time. Here's one of those situations.
So they come up on second down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. And that should do it. He's got it first down. And the Eagles, they can run it out from here. The Giants going to burn their third and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And they take a knee. Hurts down to one knee, and that should just about do it.
I don't know about you, partner, but watching them take the knee there and finish this one off, I feel like I'm going to be sore tomorrow. This was one bruising affair. Low scoring, but my kind of football.
Not a work of art, but maybe in your world, a little bit of a work of art. You like the defensive side.
I thought it was pretty. I can't help myself. I thought it was pretty.
And it ends in a kneel down as the clock rolls down to zeros. Well, obviously, Charles, this was by no means an offensive track meet. I mean, the defenses were the story in this ball game, but hey, they got enough points to get the job done, and at the end of the day, that's all that matters.